Do 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 do. Alrighty. Um, hello, hello. Okay, it's working. Alrighty. Time to get this. Live now. Alrighty, alrighty. Okay, everything should be all set up all honky-dory like, I think. Alrighty, alrighty. With that, hello, hello, anyone joining in? How's it going? Just always setting things up because I am really bad at this whole streaming thing. I never can tell if I'm actually got things working. Never prep too much ahead of time, but hey, here we are. It's what we do. Also trying to set some other things up on the side as well. Okay, okay. Almost. There's one last thing I gotta do real quicks. Real quicks here. I'm trying my darndest, I swear. Alrighty, so close, so close. And for everyone joining in, welcome, welcome. How's it going today? What's going on in your lives? I want to hear all about it because my life is incredibly boring. That being said, I did just the other day work a 13-hour shift. That was pretty exciting. Whole bunch of labor. It was not the most pleasant activity. Alrighty. So, how's it going? How's it going? There's also something else I wanted to edit. Did I not change the thumbnail of this video? I feel like there's a way you can make it so like it updates automatically as you're watching things. Thumbnail. Select an or upload a picture that represents your stream. A good thumbnail. Learn more. Is there not a way to have the thumbnail Automatic chapters, featured places, automatic concepts. What the heck is going on here? I went from not playing D&D for 15 years to running games for 2 different groups. The first one was 2 days ago. Your channel has been a goldmine. Thanks for your content. Eric, how's it going? Awesome to hear that you're hopping back in the D&D bandwagon. Always excellent stuff. Well, first off, I'm curious about what campaigns you're running. But secondly, it's absolutely great to hop in the D&D bandwagon because my life has been forever changed by TTRPGs. I could not imagine a world now where I don't either interact with TTRPGs to some degree or fashion. I couldn't imagine that world anymore. Which is funny because I for my whole life, I did not touch TTRPGs. I couldn't tell you what D&D was until I was... Oh my god, how old was I before I even touched D&D? I feel like I might have been like 20... I might have been like 24 or 25 before I even touched D&D. So it's relatively new in my life, but I'm so very thankful that I got to interact with it. Okay. So with that, my god, my room is freaking blazing. I need to turn a fan on. Goodness. Alrighty. I'm gonna copy that and make a new one. I'll make it... Can I make them headers? Yeah, I'll make them headers. Can I not make them... Can I not move them if they're a style? Yeah, I can. That's awesome to hear. They're great. One is homebrew, the other one is Curse of Strahd. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Man, that Curse of Strahd, let me tell you, it is going bananas on my channel. Like, I put all that time, attention, and effort into that one, and it's just... Years later, I am still getting so many people showing up to it. It's fantastic. OC rules. I'll go classic for this, but then I'm gonna go basic for this one. I'm also running Curse of Strahd right now. Welcome back, everyone. How's it going? Man, Curse of Strahd, I genuinely do not comprehend how it just continues to shine in the community. It is baffling. Like, it's a good campaign, mind you. It just baffles me that, like, to this day, there's still so many groups running it. Like all these years later. Curse of Strahd now is old. It came out, like... let me take a look here. Curse of Strahd. It came out like ages ago. It came out like 8 years ago or something. Curse of Strahd. It was released March 15th, 2016. So for it came out 8 years ago. And the fact that it's 8 years old and is still just absolutely loved and adored and being appreciated by the community is fan-freaking-tastic. Like, that's awesome. That is so good. So I worked at a charcuterie place, and I had to make a whole bunch of charcuterie little boards and accessories and things like that, and I'm getting my due. Alrighty. So one of the purposes of today's stream here is, one, I didn't have time to run a session of my West Marchers game. If you want to play in a public game hosted by me, join my Discord, link down below. And you can hop in on my games. I run them regularly. I'm running 4 this week, in fact. And yeah, but one thing I want to cover today is I'm gonna be eventually I'm gonna be posting up some solo play on my channel. And then I'll be posting up, or not my channel, maybe. I'm still debating on if I'm going to post gameplay on my channel or I'm going to make a new channel. I'm probably just going to make a new channel for it. So it doesn't kill the algorithm or whatever. Def a man that knows how to handle some meat. Absolutely. Let me tell you what. All the meat that I had to handle for that charcuterie, let me tell you, it's a lot. How's it going, Prof. Pone? Also started to read books about it so I can better play as Strahd. The book is older than me, which is amazing. Oh my goodness, it is. Yeah, mind you, Strahd has been around in the zeitgeist of D&D for like close to 50 years now. What do you charge? $50 a head? Man, if I could be making that money, I could retire early. Let me tell you, it was released in 1993. Yeah, that's pretty old. That's pretty ancient. But yeah, I mean, i6 Ravenloft, the original Ravenloft adventure, that came out, I think, 45 years ago, maybe. I'm actually curious about that. I'm going to look that up. i6 Ravenloft. i6 Ravenloft came out in 1983, so not quite. Just over 41 years. So 41 years ago, i6 Ravenloft came out. My goodness. Gameplay of what? Going back to Eternal Pain of Blood Bowl? No. I'll be posting up D&D sessions. I'll be posting up some good old D&D. Mind you, not always Dungeons & Dragons. It'll be tabletop role-playing games of all shapes and sizes. So, right now I'm going to be covering over BB Would Be Wild. I'll tell you what, I think my Blood Bowl career is sailed. How's it going, Gojira? Just you doing solo D&D games? My channel would be, it's Trevor versus the Dragon. My channel would be like all games. So I'd be posting my solo plays. I'd be posting up, my games that I'm running. He's a lonely man. Listen here. But yeah, I've been posting up a variety of different sessions and whatnot. But yeah, I'll tell you what, my Blood Bowl career, I ran so many things. I interacted with so many people. I had to do so much. And let me tell you, it's just a lot. When I was the commissioner of that league, having to interact with, 40, 50, 60, whatever, how many people, running all those games, running the community, being the head of a community that was so active but required me to be active was just a lot. It was a lot. Alrighty. So for my rule set that I'm gonna be making for my solo play here, I'm gonna have these classic rules in touch where it's I've got what I've listed here. This is the rule set that I'm essentially using for my West Marches game right now. But I am going to be changing that up some. Trevor alone can revive Blood Bowl 3 prop phone. I'll tell you what, Gojira, I could if I set my heart, mind, and soul. I do feel like I could make Blood Bowl 3 something worthwhile. But quite frankly, that requires me to put my heart, soul, and effort into, and that's not worthwhile doing. Blood Bowl 3 is a piece of crap. Everyone knows it. The developers know it, but it's not worthwhile streaming. It's not worthwhile doing. I bet if Turin stream did work. it's just the problem is you have to care, and if the developers don't care about Blood Bowl, then it just severely like oppresses people, right? Like, why should you care if the people working on the game don't care? That's the sad, cold, bottom line truth of the matter is, why should you care if they don't care? And, you know, that's just disheartening. It sucks. You know, if Blood Bowl was moddable, then absolutely. If Blood Bowl was moddable, either 2 or 3, even 1. If Blood Bowl 1 was moddable, that community would be thriving. But in order to make modding even semi-worthwhile endeavor, it's just way too much effort. The developers rolled 1s, not their fault. They didn't just roll 1s, they rolled quad skulls. Okay? They rolled quad skulls. It was just nothing but 1s all day long. It's just... But man, I'll tell you what. Like, I think a lot of my issues with Blood Bowl would go away if modding existed for that game. They won in 1 million. They did. They did. Oh, golly. Alrighty. So, with that, just dropped in and immediately heard Blood Bowl. I'm out. I don't blame you. You should leave. You should leave. You should get out. I don't blame you in the slightest. But, yeah, so... Blood Bowl, not worthwhile doing. It's just not worthwhile. The developers hate you. The developers just want your money. Alrighty. So, I'm going to go over some of my changes for my... I'm gonna go with a classic rule set and a basic rule set. So, going down the line here, start with 3d6 down the line. I don't think I need to change that. If the game does become too deadly, I'll do 46, drop the lowest. Hit points start at max HP for class. Every level up thereafter, roll all hit dice if roll is higher keep. So for the basic one, I am going to change that to every level up. Roll hit die as normal, because in my current rule set for my West Marches game, when it comes to hit points, re-rolling all of your hit points, it definitely leads to people having a higher HP pool, which I don't necessarily need for a solo game. I'm okay with my characters dying and whatnot, but you know, it is what it is. This for the West Marches? No, this is for just my own solo game ruling here. So what I'm going to be doing in the future is I'm currently doing my West Marches right now, which is basically a rendition of Old School Essentials. In my future West Marches games, we'll actually be using my own tabletop role-playing game system. I will be departing from this system and moving on to other systems of my own creation, which I'll be excited for, but that'll all come in due time. The shield sacking, let's get rid of the shield sacking. One of the big changes will be the weapons. In my West Marches game, all characters do damage equal to their class. So a fighter does a d8 of damage no matter what weapon they use. A thief does a d4 of damage no matter what weapon they use. Except for the following: if you use a slow weapon, then the damage die increases to a d10. What I will change is the following. All weapons will do a d6, except for slow weapons will do a d10. That's to keep things very, very simple. All weapons do a d6 of damage. magical weapons may have variety of damage die. And then battle axes, crossbows, firearms, so on and so forth. Increase damage die. Do D10 of damage. Because the difference between a D6 and a D8 isn't terribly much, but the difference between a D6 and a D10 does add up for sure. Weapons and armor degrading. Do I really care about that? I probably don't. Too much to keep track of. Turn on dead may only be used once per encounter. I might change that to once per hour. I'll start off with that, because turning undead is pretty powerful. It's like a permanent spell that clerics have. PC death. When a PC hits 0 HP, they're down. I like the death system I've got in this. Keeps things nice and simple. Yeah, I think that's pretty simple. So, I've been thinking about like what I want to solo play. Do I want to create a whole brand new campaign? We'll be lurking but muting due to work. Fair. That's fair. I've been thinking about what I want to do for a campaign. And ultimately, I think I actually would really like to play Tomb of Annihilation. I've ran Tomb of Annihilation a bunch of times, but I think playing it solo play would be very interesting, because I would leave the major decisions of how to explore up to the dice, and that will be fascinating, because whenever I run that adventure, whenever I run any adventure, like exploration-based adventure, the players always rationalize it through their own perceptions. And me, through my solo play, I wouldn't do that, because obviously I know everything that there is to know. So leaving it up to the dice for the exploration would be really fascinating. It'll take me to places that I wouldn't think to go, but through my characters that I'll be playing as the group, it'd be very interesting to see. I'm looking forward to that. And what's really great about using Tomb of Annihilation as a base for a solo play is TOA actually has the majority of the mechanics baked into the book itself on how to run a procedural game and run it old school. The game actually has it listed right there, like, oh, hey, you can hire mercenaries here, and there's a whole bunch of all that, what do you call it stuff? Like, there's a whole bunch of gold sinks, and there's a whole bunch of various aspects in exploration and all that. But you won't be role-playing. So here's the thing is, I think the roleplay will be emerging through the adventure at hand, right? Like, I'm going to roll up my characters, however many there's going to be. Maybe I'll have, like, 6, let's say. And depending on how I roll them and where they go and what they do, they will have various aspects to them. Like, if I roll up the barbarian who's really dumb, and then, they're paired up with the magic user who's really smart but has a bad charisma, I think that'll create some, like, sort of internal monologue. And for my channel, what I will be doing is, over the course of the game, for, like, every couple of minutes of game time, or, like, whenever something major happens in the game, I'll have an aside where I role play as the characters, where I just have, like, a quick little spiel of, like, they just get done with a fight and someone dies, then they'll have, like, parting words for the dead, or you know, they go to this location and they talk to an NPC, then I'll be role playing as both of them, and like have like text blurbs pop up for both of them, kind of like an interactive, you know, video game in a sense, like a visual novel, let's say. That's kind of my idea for the role play. And I think it'll be natural because I'm very good at like separating, you know, my thoughts and the characters. I'm perfectly fine with sitting there being like, oh hey, this is what the character would do, even though like I wouldn't agree with it. This is what the character would do. Let's go tables. And it appears that I already made some tables for some various things. Can I not just... I think a Curse of Strahd solo play would be awesome too. I have arrived. How's it going, Caliber? How's it hanging? I couldn't run a session today. I was a little bit too preoccupied with several things, so figured I might as well stream, talk about some things that'll be coming up. I've been so incredibly busy lately with all sorts of various things in my life, and this frickin' cat. Let me tell you, this cat has eaten up so much of my frickin' time. I did not think I was ever going to own a cat. 2 weeks ago, I would have laughed you out of the room if you told me I was going to be owning a cat. But here we are. Here we frickin' are. Oh, goodness gracious. I need to look at the 5e XP table again. It's been a while since I looked. But I'm curious how much gold character would have 5e XP levels. It has been a while since I looked. So from level 1 to level 2, you need 300 gold, meaning that if you have a party of 6, according to my ghetto math, the party would have to accrue a whopping total of 1,800 gold. Oh my, but it shoots up immensely. So in like old school, like it essentially doubles every single time for the XP threshold to level up to the next level. 5e is catty wampus. At level 1 to level 2 is 300 gold, or 300 XP. But level 2 to level 3 is 600, and then okay, so you need 900 XP to hit level 3. So you essentially do double it. So you go from 300, you need 300 to get level 2, and then you need 600 thereafter to reach level 3 to get the 900. But then level frickin' 4 is 2,700 XP, meaning that you jump from level 3 to level 4, you need a whopping total of 1,600 experience. And once again, if I'm using a big party, if I'm using gold for XP, the amount of gold, and if I had like 6 people, let's say, if I had 6 people going from a level 3 to level 4, that'd be 1,600 times 6, meaning that's up a Jesus ton of gold. Oh my goodness. That is ridiculous. Tomb of Annihilation. Mistyped Annihilation. Let's make it heading 2. Also, let me change the colors of these. I think that'll be fun. TOA. Let's make Icewind Dale like a white if I can. Let's make Curse of Strahd. I don't freaking know. Let's make a red. Boom, there you go. Alrighty. So Tomb of Annihilation already has in place a fantastic, absolutely fantastic random encounter table for the jungles. It is impeccable. It annoys me how Wizards of the Coast put out Tomb of Annihilation, a fantastic adventure module, and then never pressed on the idea of hex crawling or adventuring into the great unknown ever again. They have never done anything like TOA ever since. So I'm going to be pulling up the TOA thing and see if there's any adjustments that need to be made. But I actually don't think there's any adjustments I need to make at all. I think TOA is just such a solid package. Such a complete, beautiful package that I actually don't need to do anything for it. Ah. Alrighty, so with that, looking through. Actually, there are adjustments that do have to be made for, well, the biggest adjustments that have to be made for running TOA as a hex crawler with the idea of gold for XP is there does need to be more gold drops. I do recall, you know, it is made for 5th edition, and in 5e, no one cares about gold. So there is that. So I'm going to have to add either more treasure to the hordes present, and or just add more dungeons throughout the entirety of the environment. That might very well have to be the case. Let's take a look here. Starting at higher levels, although the adventure assumes the characters begin at 1st level, you can start them off at 5th or 9th level instead. Starting at 5th level, characters of 5th level will still find parts of chapters 1 and 2 challenging. If an encounter becomes too much of a cakewalk, you can introduce enemy reinforcements. Hold off on XP awards and level advancement until the characters reach chapter 3. Starting at 9th level, characters of 9th level will steamroll through chapters 1 and 2, and that's fine. Spend less time on encounters in the jungle and steer the characters toward chapter 3. Once they arrive, hold off on XP until they enter chapter 5. Very interesting. Yeah, I think honestly my only major ideas here for running Tomb of Annihilation solo is I just need to add more gold everywhere. That's pretty much all there is to it. So let's get a crack in here. The weather. Okay. And I think chapter 1 actually, yeah. So one thing I really love about Tomb of Annihilation, looking through it, is there's actually a lot of, actually, I'll actually pull this up for the stream here. I think that'll actually be, that'll probably be better for everyone involved here, so I can actually showcase off what's going on. I'll go ahead and create the game, and then I'll show it off to everybody. Starting a new game in Roll20. Classic Roll20 or Jumpgate? The heck? I'll try out this Jumpgate thing. TOA solo. And then use Tomb of Annihilation. Alrighty. Where's this bad boy? So what does Jumpgate do exactly? Actually, I do want to look this up on Roll20 here before I commit, in case it like messes things up. Jumpgate. Project Jumpgate. The Roll20 has been bringing games. Okay, what does Jumpgate do? Jumpgate is powered through the latest web technology and delivers the faster, smoother performance you've been asking for. We're replacing their oldest code. Okay. Opting to jump in. Multiple cheats. Effects. I don't care about the effects. Quality of life improvements. That's nice. 10 times the performance. Okay. I think I'll start using this Jumpgate then. And let me hop in on this on the on OBS here. As long as I'm not doxing myself with nothing. Alrighty. Look at that. Navigating through the compendium. Okay. Oh man, it does look different. Alrighty. So with that, let's start tour. Select a category. Spells. I don't care. Adding to your sheet. That's nice. Competitive search. Filters. There's filters. That's nice. Done. Okay. Roll20 tips. Roll20 intro. Jolt player map. Let's fix your hex page. We made hex grids in Jumpgate mathematically perfect. Now we want to make your tokens perfect too. If you have not yet adjusted your hex pages, we can scale your tokens and fix your map for you. Would it not be fixed if it was a Roll20 product? I'll fix it later. Let's take a look. Also, let's get rid of that dumb little pop out on the side there. Others can see none. Video display. Names only. Perfect. Actually, let me go ahead and pull up the Chult map. Or not the Chult, the Port Nanzara map. That one's less intense. And that's actually perfect because I want to see the procedures in place for Port Nanzara. I believe that there is a whole bunch of procedures in place. So kicking things off here, start here. Intro, chapter 1. Let's take a look. Not there. Arrival. Not there. Oh, yeah, so here's a great example of the good old-fashioned procedure play in mind. Side quest. As the characters explore the city, they might encounter NPCs who need their help. Introduce as many or as few side quests as possible. If you can't decide which one to choose, roll D10. So boom, right there, I can just simply, right as I show up, roll D10, and that'll give us a side quest, and that'll help steer our characters along the way. That is fantastic. But I know for a fact there's other rollable things too. Things to do. Dinosaur racing. Here we go. Oh no, that's betting. Finding a guide. That'll be big as well. Gathering information. Ooh, here's a great one. The best people to talk to are those who actually work for a living. For each hour spent talking to knowledgeable travelers, a character can make a DC 15 inside check. If the check succeeds, roll percentile die and consult the Chult rumors tables below. So I'd have to convert that because I'm not using wisdom or inside checks or whatever. But boom, having a rumor table, like that's fantastic. This rumor table will easily guide my characters along their adventure. That's also great. Locations in the city. Let's take a look if there's anything there. Nope, no rollable tables there. I feel like there's somewhere starting the adventures to welcome to Chult. Running the event. I feel like there's somewhere in the adventure where it says, "Oh, hey, there's a rollable table." Wasn't there? There's definitely something though. Let's see. Because I know in chapter 2's got a fantastic one. The expedition begins. Travel distances. Whole bunch of great stuff on diseases and navigation, random encounters. Oh, the random encounters table I remember is so good. Where is that table actually? Oh yeah, it's actually at the end here. There's a random encounter table at the end. Oh my goodness, how could I forget? Chapter 5, random encounters. Okay, so treasure. It looks at the past. I see. A whole bunch of random ones. Treasure, creatures. Oh, such great stuff here. Charms. Oh, I see. I see. Oh, that's funny. They've actually got loyalty in here. That's something I am going to be using. I'm going to be using a loyalty score to keep track of if like the NPCs we work with are actually going to like us or not. So that's pretty good. Here we go. Random encounters. There's a Port 9 Zaru random encounters. Roll d20 3 times per day of game time, checking for encounters each morning, afternoon, and evening or night. An encounter occurs on a roll of 16 or higher. Which, I mean, I get that they're married to a d20 here, but you could have just said, like, with a roll of 16 or higher, you could have said roll a d4 on a 4. There's an encounter. They could have, they could have simplified it as that. I don't know why you need to throw the d20 in the mix here and have to sit there and make it all complicated. Oh, fantastic. If you roll a 1, a pair of poops on a random person's head. That's great. Let's see. A drunk foreign sailor is loudly trying to pick a fight with 3 local commoners who are clearly no match for the lout. If the characters intervene, the grateful locals become a reliable source of information about Port 9 Zaru. But the sailor and his shipmates ambush the characters somewhere else in the city later on. That's, oh my gosh. Like, I can't believe how fantastic TOA is as a product. Just having these sources of adventure here. Like, as you're going about the city, oh yeah, you can help a guy, but then you get jumped later. Like, that just it feels so good. You know, it feels so good to have actions and consequences and making the world feel alive. Fan-friggin-tastic. Oh, and here we go. Yeah, so that's what I'm remembering. So, on this random encounter table, you roll a d20 for it as well. And on 11 through 20, the characters meet an NPC with a side quest. So that's how you introduce these side quests here, is you simply, every day you're in this place, you're getting into these random encounters. Boom, you're going to have these. However, I think the problem is in my campaign, this hub city will be used regularly. It's going to be the place my characters are going to be living for a long time, and thus I will have to expand on this. So I am going to absolutely, use this for sure. This is on the same level as Dragon Age: The Veilguard. In what way, good sir? What do you mean by that? What are you implying? I actually have no idea. I have not touched the Veilguard. And I don't plan to, because I didn't like... I like Dragon Age Origins, and then I didn't like Dragon Age 2 as much, and then I really didn't like Inquisition, so I can't imagine liking Veilguard. So what do you mean by on the same level as Dragon Age: The Veilguard? So I'm actually going to, to save myself an incredible amount of time, I am just going to throw this into a random encounter thing, or I'm going to throw this into an AI, either ChatGPT or Claude or something, and get it going. It's the worst Dragon Age game to date easily. I cannot comprehend Dragon Age is just this weird phenomenon. Every single game is different. It's different in its art direction. It's different in its tonality, in its themes, in its action and gameplay. Dragon Age Inquisition is just never the same game. Or Dragon Age is just never the same game. I don't understand. Like, when you look at other games, or when there's like, oh hey, the difference between Baldur's Gate 2 and 3 is pretty massive. But you know why the difference between Baldur's Gate 2 and 3 is massive? Because it's a different company, and there is a difference of like 20 some odd years in between the two games coming out. It makes sense. It makes sense when Fallout 2 and Fallout 3 are entirely different games, because they are different companies over the course of many, many years. But Dragon Age is not that. Dragon Age is made by the same company in a relatively small span of time. Obviously, the Veilguard just coming out is 10 years a gap between that and Inquisition. But still, right? It's still the same company. I only played Inquisition. It was okay. I heard Veilguard was bad. They have always still had dark fantasy to it. Not this one. It's funny because when you look at Dragon Age Origins, there's a lot of dark things going on, right? Like you have this oppressive thing of, oh hey, magic is scary because if you are a spellcaster, you literally have demons trying to claw into your brain. You've got this thing of, oh hey, if you're an elf, you are either living in solitude out in the wilderness, or you are a third class citizen being thrown in the ghetto, right? And you got all these various things, and that's just the tip of the iceberg in regards of the grim dark fantasy of Dragon Age Origins, and then it becomes less and less over those games. Like it slowly becomes less and less, and I, from what I've heard of Veilguard, I have not played it, but from what I've heard of Veilguard, they've stripped away that thing, and that made me ask the question: is Dragon Age getting in the way of the game that BioWare wanted to make? Did BioWare want to make a game, but felt a compulsion necessary to make it Dragon Age? Would the game that they have wanted to make be better if it was his own IP? And that's unfortunately like a question that I'm sure all executives at video game companies are asking, because the unfortunate sad truth is old IPs make money. New IPs are scary. They can be good, obviously, but they can also fail horribly. And that's happened for BioWare themselves. They tried what was that game, Anthem? That absolutely died before it even launched. It blew up on the launching pad, right? And so BioWare themselves know that a new IP is a scary product. So I'm wondering if they wanted to really make another game, but they had to make it Dragon Age. Veilguard bodies are all sorts of proportional as well. I feel like they need better writers first and foremost. From what I've seen some of the dialogue, and from like what I've seen of the dialogue, is it's scripted, and obviously it's like, oh, you're obviously playing a video game. Obviously it's scripted, right? But there are a lot of games you can play where you see the characters interact with each other, and you feel like the two voice actors were in a room and actually talking to each other, right? For example, that being Dragon Age Origins. In Dragon Age Origins, there's times where you go in a certain area and then two of your NPCs start talking to each other. And those moments feel so characterful. Like, I'm remembering one where Alistair and Morgan are talking to each other, and she starts making fun of him because he's a virgin. And then he tries to come off as witty, and then he's all hurt because Morgan's being mean-spirited. And those moments are just feel like the two voice actors just channeled the character and were doing improv. And that feels like genuinely fantastic or fantastic voice acting. It might very well not be the case. It's probably more than likely that they were writing it, reading from a script. But the way it comes off, the way it's written, and the way it's performed, it feels natural. And from what I've seen of the Veilguard, there are a lot of times where it doesn't feel natural, and that's not good. Yes, I think it would have done better as a non-DA game. So much went wrong. Once again, it's just one of those things where it's like all the big companies. I don't know what I would do if I was one of these execs at these big video game companies, because they are just trying to just keep on batting for these massive blockbuster hits. And we're seeing so many times where it's just so hit or miss. We get some games that are just selling gangbusters, like Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate. Those games just, they more than make up for the investment of the product. But then, of course, you get other games which do not make up for the investment of the product. And video games are not, oh, hey, we're a restaurant and we didn't sell well today, but maybe we'll sell well tomorrow. It is a company where you're employing dozens, if not hundreds of people. Every person at your company costs maybe like $15,000 a month because of all the electricity and all the licenses and paying them and, restocking the bathroom and this and that. Like these companies just make so much or spend so much money for years with zero income. And, and so, it makes sense that there's all these companies now moving to the live product of, pumping out things like, oh, hey, we need gamers to pay a subscription for a month. Oh, hey, we need to introduce skins because skins will keep the money rotating back in. And it's ridiculous how the game industry has come and is become and operates now. It's weird. All the classic fans that know Dragon Age wouldn't have been let down by its shitty writing and the gameplay being so different. Yeah, I'm obviously this is never gonna happen. They're never gonna talk about there's never gonna be a what went wrong with Dragon Age Veilguard that comes from any of the developers of that game. That's never gonna happen. But I would love to sit down, even if this could be undocumented and private. I would love to talk to the developers of Veilguard and ask them those hard hitting questions of, oh hey, if did you not want this to be Dragon Age? What would you have made if did Dragon Age ruin the game that you wanted to make? Because it seems like in a way, Dragon Age got in the way of the game that they wanted to make, from my perspective anyway. Alrighty, so with that, I'm going to consult a AI for some Port Nyanzaru encounters. In fact, actually, maybe you, chat, can go ahead and also throw me some Port Nyanzaru encounters as well. So I'm going to be throwing this into an AI machine, generating a bunch because I want there to be more over the course of the campaign. That being said, I actually don't think I will need to do that for the encounters here. Uh-oh. What the heck? Because the random encounters in the wilderness is actually already a D100 table, and what's really great about it is that it changes depending on where you're at. So, you roll that D100, and then you consult where you're at. So if I'm on the beach and I roll 1 through 7, I get Aarakocra. But if I'm in a greater undead area and I roll a 1, then I bump into Artisimber. If I'm in the wasteland and I roll a 1, I also bump into Artisimber. Okay, bad call. If you're in the swamp, then you run into Aldani. And this is a dynamic random encounter table. In fact, I might have to use something similar to this for my future campaigns here, because this is a great way to encapsulate the idea of, oh, hey, you're going to be bumping into relatively the same things in these areas, but depending on where you're at in this adventure biome, it'll be different. So if I'm in no undead territory, I roll a 25, let's say, no undead. If I roll a 25, I bump into a Stegosaurus. But if I'm in greater undead territory and I roll a 25, I bump into Mantraps. Dope. That is, oh man, this encounter table is so great. So I think I don't actually need to bother with that. What I do need to add though is encounters for Port Nyanzaru, because currently there's only a few. I think I need to change that up some. The bigger studios seem to be pumping out worse and worse games the bigger they get. Too many people, not enough vision, on top of too much corporate oversight and meddling. So ultimately what I think it is when you are batting for a product, you will never bat for a niche. You will bat for a majority. And unfortunately, we as gamers, the majority of us that are, permanently online, which, spoiler alert, if you're listening to this right now, you are terminally online. Let's be real here. we typically like niche things, right? Like we love the certain indie games, we love certain genres, we love certain things that are unique and special. But ultimately, it from a designer standpoint, it's much better to make something generic and bland that appeals to more people, because the more people you appeal to, the more money you make, right? And so I think ultimately, if you are one of those AAA companies, or even if you're one of those weird quadruple A companies, whichever ones they are, trying to pump out the quadruple A products or whatever, it ultimately does come down to, oh, hey, reuse the same IPs and make it generic and bland as possible to get more people, and throw a bunch of money at the good old fashioned, what do you call it thing? Ad marketing. Same as Wizards of the Coast or Walk. I think Baldur's Gate 3 proved that not true. So Baldur's Gate does appeal to the old IP, but two, Baldur's Gate 3, no company is ever going to make that gamble. That company made 0 games for 10 years. It actually might even be longer. Let me take a look at Larian Studios. Larian Studios. But no company is willing to make that gamble. Larian Studios is crazy for making that gamble. They did not make money for 10 years. Or, I mean, they pumped out the Kickstarter or whatever. Let's take a look here. But what was the time lapse between their games? So in 2017, they came out with Divinity Original Sin 2, and then in 2023, they came out with Baldur's Gate 3. So 6 years. Actually, that's not that bad, actually. Well, I mean, here's the thing. 6 years is still bad for not making any money. Rockstar does it regularly, but Rockstar actually has a humongous name behind them. There's a bunch of companies that don't have the name behind them that would allow them to do that. Baldur's Gate 3 was Larian, though, a fairly small independent studio that didn't have a bunch of oversight from Wizards of the Coast. It's funny, I heard somewhere, I don't know if this is true, I don't know if I can validate it at all, but I heard somewhere that some people up in the higher branches of Wizards of the Coast did not like Baldur's Gate 3. And I'm willing to bet that is purely because they didn't like how they're associating Baldur's Gate or D&D with sex. Because let's face it, a lot of the marketing for Baldur's Gate 3 involved sex, especially of the bear variety. But I don't know how. Yeah, I couldn't see the average company willing to take 6 years off of their, developer life to come out with a new game. Besides the very niche ones, once again, like Rockstar and things like that. Alrighty, I'm going to throw this into a machine here. I'm going to be using Claude. I really like Claude. If anybody uses AI chat bots or whatever, Claude is a fantastic one. It's very smart. Let me copy this. Boop. I think companies like that don't like when a different company do their IP better than them. That is also true. I'm willing to bet there's a certain sense of ego of oh hey, I hate that those people, Oh, you know what's a great example of that? I think a great example of that is Fallout New Vegas. The fact that Fallout New Vegas is so beloved over Fallout 3, universally, from what I can gather, I'm willing to bet that the people over there did not like that Fallout New Vegas was more well received than Fallout 3. I'm willing to bet that's the case. Alrighty. Hi. I am running a solo TTRPG game using old school essentials as the system and playing through Tomb of Annihilation. The first thing I wanted to take a look at is the Port Nyanzaru random encounter table. This is the current list, but I want it scaled up to a D100 with 91 through 100 being the given a side quest. Can you help me make that D100 table, please? Here is the current table. Alrighty, let's see what this AI gives me. Alrighty, so this AI cheated me here. Read my mind about Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that the people over there at Bethesda, I can't remember the company that worked on New Vegas, but I'm willing to bet that Bethesda probably didn't like that, you know, someone made Fallout but better under their vision. Alrighty, so this AI cheated. I asked for a D100 table, and it technically gave me a D100 table, but the results are like, 1 through 5 is this, 1 through da-da-da is that. So 6 through 15 is that. So I'm going to have to chastise the AI. My apologies, but I want a D100 table where every single number is something unique. Excluding the 91 through 100. Can you please make it? Alrighty. Alrighty, it's actually pumping out a D100 list here where every single one is actually something unique. Had to slap it around a little. Love this. Love the please. Make sure AI doesn't come for you when the machine uprising happens. Oh yeah, absolutely. First off, I welcome our robot overlords. Secondly, one thing I do think is something that's going to actually happen in the future is I think that there will be people that they don't go to say thank you or please or any niceties to machinery, which, spoiler alert, there will be talking machines in the near future. Like, you interact with them. I mean, your phone already does that. You can pull up your phone and be like, okay, Google, or, okay, Cortana or Alexa, or whatever it is. And I'm willing to bet you, if you get into this mindset of like not saying please and thank yous and whatever niceties, that it's probably going to spill out in your everyday life, and you're probably going to be adjusted and affected by that. So I think it's a good thing to, continue saying, "Oh, yes, please, thank you, no, thank you," to machinery, purely just so that it doesn't influence your everyday normal functions with human beings. Obsidian made Fallout New Vegas. They make really good RPGs in general, though. People want more choice in their RPGs. Bethesda doesn't give enough, i.e., Fallout 4. Yeah, ultimately, the problem with like video games and like decisions is one, companies really hate when they make stuff that isn't going to be used. So like a great example of that being in Fallout. In Fallout, when you go to do the main quest, your choices are, be good or be good, right? Like that's your choice in the end, which is really unfortunate. Just got a YouTube notification that you were live. I've been watching your using DOA content, and we're near the end of it. Made things doable. Great suggestions and overview. Sir Loathing, thank you so very much. I'm actually going over right now. I'm actually making some content for Tomb of Annihilation because I'm going to be rolling a solo Let's Play of it. Because I have ran TOA so many times, and I made all those videos and still talk about it to this day, but I've never actually gotten to play in it. So I think playing in it as a solo Let's Play is going to be very interesting for me. So, in fact, I'm actually going to be posting it up here. So, I just got a D100 table of random encounters. So, let me add that to the mix here. Let me go ahead and... we're supplemental appendix B. Okay. Let me add another one here. Add a PDF or folder. Just hand out. Port Neon Zaru. Random encounters. Save that. I'll DM you. Okay. Let's take a look here. So, random encounter table. Let me pull that bad boy up. As the AI gets to churning. Man, I'm actually looking through, like, just as it's, like, generating, and I see some good ones, like, a wedding celebration parades through the streets, like, that bring, once again, these, random encounters need to bring your world to life. Alrighty. Street vendor sells map to secret locations. Oh my god, like that's fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna be posting it right now. Gush over it long enough, posting it right here. Boom. Alrighty, it comes out super ugly, which is super annoying. I mean, I can live with it, I guess. Like right here, boom. Let's take a look what's new here. A seasick passenger from a newly arrived ship needs assistance. Cool. A local mystic offers to read fortunes using dinosaur bones. An older woman sells magical charms against jungle curses. Oh my god, that's so good. A ghoul is discovered in the sewers near the market. A spy attempts to pickpocket a character. The oppressive heat causes the merchant to faint. Yuan Ti disguised as a merchant observes the party. Flying monkeys raid a fruit stand. So good. Footprints of an invisible stalker are spotted. Oh my gosh, there's so much like going on with these. Like I'm already like swimming with all these ideas of like every single one of these. street performers reenact famous jungle expeditions. Like, right there, like, all these things are providing a framework of more information being given to the characters. Like, that's so, so good. A witch doctor peddles anti-curse remedies. Someone's tamed velociraptor causes panic. Dock workers unload mysterious cargo. Oh my gosh. I'm going to be like, whenever I roll this up, I'm going to be sitting there being like, okay, like, what's going to be happening with these? Oh, it's going to be so good. Alrighty, so beyond just that, there's also the side quest thing. So let me pull that up as well. I'm going to be adding another handout here. Port Neon Zaru Quest. I'm going to have the AI generate some more as well, because there's already some good ones in here. In fact, let me go ahead and pull that up. Where is that? Is it in here, things to do? Yeah, here it is, I think. Well, there's the get. I might add more rumors too. There's actually, there's a decent amount of rumors here as well. I might add more rumors. I'll think about doing more rumors here, but the side quests are going to be the big one, because I think I need to add some more side quests. Alrighty, so let me throw that into the machine. Let's take a look here. Side quest. As the characters explore Parnan's arm, they might encounter NPCs who need their help. Given the urgency of their mission, characters might be reluctant to take on side quests. So, one thing I'll be covering is I don't believe in the timer of TOA. That's ultimately I'll never say any product is a 100 out of 100, because there's never been a product that's 100% perfect. I will sing TOA's praises to high heavens. I believe TOA is the best adventure in the 5e lineup by far. But even then, it's still got some things going on wrong with it. And one of the things I think is wrong with it is it's a sandbox adventure, but with a timer, and those two just don't mix well. Because you provide a awesome sandbox for players to explore around in, but then ultimately you remove that by pressing into them that they need to do a certain thing, and that takes away a bit of the fun. So I think the side quests are absolutely vital and important. I think all these are fantastic. I've used all these before. They add such immersion to the world. They add to the exploration. They provide such awesome stuff going on here. But I'm going to be adding some more here. So let's see what the AI cooks up, because once again, our AI overlords know what they're doing. Now, on to the side quest. I want some more to both reward the characters with much needed gold, magic items, and incentivize exploration, and garner friendships, and foes along the way. This is the current list of 10 side quests. In the campaign, I would like to have more. Let's say 30 in total. Can you make this D30 list, please? With each role being its own unique quest. Here is the current list. Because, like, once again, you know, these quests do a fantastic job of, like, they run the gambit. These ones either reward you monetarily, they give you some new friends, they give you some insight into the jungle, they, you know, they do a bunch of things, like collect a debt. You go and collect some money, you get some money, but then you also make a friend along the way in the form of Taban. Create a distraction at Fort Balarian. You both create friends and create foes along the way. Escort priest to Camp Vengeance. You get a friend along the way, but then also you get involved in the political intrigue of the world, so on and so forth. Like that is, oh my gosh, I love TOA. I sing TOA's praises for days on end. It's just so freaking good. I love it. I absolutely love it. Show me that kitty. This can get you banned in certain streams. I'll tell you what, in this stream, it certainly won't. Let me see if she's up and awake. I believe last time I saw her, she was asleep. Yeah? Look at her. She's so cute. And she's so loud, too. Do, do, do. Baby Binks. Baby Binks, do, 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 do. What are you doing, Binks? Binks, I'm showing you off. You're the most famous cat on this stream right now. What are you doing? TOA worst mojo of all time, Kanye. Instant squeaks. Good on you for taking her in. Yeah, she. It was either that or let her get eaten by coyotes. So I think this was the better option of the two. But yeah, she's very personable. You know, she needs to be with people at all times. She squawks to get petted. She squawks to be held like a baby. She's very, very affectionate, very, very touchy, very, very cute. Alrighty. So let me get a new thing there for quest as well. Where did I pronounce our request? Here we go. Alrighty, let's see what the AI cooked up, because I think it cooked up some gold when I was not looking. Let's take a look here. Oh, that's interesting. It shortened them down here. I'll go ahead and post these so you guys can see them. It shortened them down to a like very small manageable thing here. Like collect a debt is now quest collect 500 gold from Taban, reward 10% of the collected debt. Bonus Taban may join as a follower. So it shortened down the text of let's go ahead and pull that up once again, comparing side by side here. So it got rid of a lot of the Dromeda's personae here. But, you know, once again, let's break it down here. Create distraction at Fort Balarian. NPC Rokaw, quest, help infiltrate fort, reward, charter of exploration, 50 gold value, plus guide introductions. Versus, this is, you know, super duper long. Create distraction at Fort Balarian. Brokaw works for the Zhentarim. The Zents believe that pirates have formed an alliance with the Flaming Fist. Rokaw is ordered to infiltrate the Fort Balarian, find proof, so that Zhentarim can blackmail the fort's commander. He asks the adventurers to escort him safely to the fort and create distractions so that he can ransack the commander's quarters. As a reward, Rokaw offers to cover the cost of a charter of exploration for 50 gold, which the characters will almost certainly need if they want to avoid future confrontations with the Flaming Fist. Rokaw also offers to introduce the characters to two wilderness guides, a pair of Tabaxi siblings named River Mist and Flask of Wine, and may pay the guides' fees. Am I okay with this shorthanding? I'm probably gonna ask the AI to elaborate just a little bit more. Probably gonna ask it to lay down a little bit more info. To be fair, I couldn't turn into a dragon in TOA. Hey, you could if you tried. You could if you tried. So yeah, I'm probably gonna ask the AI to explain just a little bit more here. But let me go ahead and actually look here at the shorthand of the new ones that they've added. The new quest. Merchant's missing shipment. NPC Jessamine. Quest. Recover stolen dinosaur eggs from smugglers. Reward. Bag of holding plus 200 gold. Bonus. Future discount on dinosaur purchases. That's cool. Haunted Harbor. Portmaster Gris. Quest. Investigate ghostly ships appearing at night. Reward 500 gold. Mariner's armor. Consequence. Potential undead naval threat revealed. Ho ho! Jungle Expedition Security. Professor Curin. Quest. Guard archaeological dig for site for 3 days. Reward. Choice of 2 potions. Greater healing, water breathing, or climbing. Bonus. Ancient Chultan lore. Man, all these quests are like adding a lot of great ideas, and once again, building on the world. Missing merchant, concerned family member, find merchant who disappeared in warehouse district, reward family heirloom plus 1 shield, twist, merchant faked disappearance. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna ask the AI to elaborate more on these because they're all so good. Merchant guard trade caravan within city, reward 500 gold plus 1 weapon of choice, complication inside job. Man, there's a lot of cool things going on here. Okay. AI. For each of those quests you just added, could you please elaborate on them like how the example did? The extra text helps out a bunch. Alrighty, let's see if it kicks out something worthwhile here. Oh, so I'm already seeing, like, immediately before I can copy and paste this, it is adding a significant amount to this. I will go ahead and grab this here. I'll actually be able to add it to the this one here. But it's providing some cool stuff. Alrighty, let's see. Boom. Did I not copy and paste properly? I did not. Shnikes. Okay. Alrighty, boom. So with that, let's take a look here. So one of them was the ghost ship one. I immediately saw that there was something cool with that. Alrighty, Portmaster Grizz needs help investigating ghostly ships appearing in the harbor at night. Several dock workers have gone missing after reporting strange lights and sounds. He offers 500 gold and a suit of mariner's armor to investigate. The ghost ships are actually projections created by a sea hag coven using captive merfolk to lure victims. The investigation leads to an underwater cave network beneath the harbor where the missing workers are being held. Success reveals a larger threat of underwater undead amassing in the Bay of Cholt. Oh my gosh, that is so fantastic. Like that right there, just oh my god. That is so good. Jungle Expedition Security. Professor Curin from the Scholars Consortium needs guards for a 3-day archaeological dig just outside of the city. She discovered that what appears to be an ancient Chultan archive and it offers a choice of two potions, greater healing, water breathing, or climbing for protection. The site is periodically attacked by territorial terrafolk, and during excavation, they discover evidence of a much larger ruins network. Kieran shares valuable historical knowledge about Chul's past that could aid in the main quest. So good. So freaking good. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna add, just for curiosity's sake, I'm gonna add 20 more. I'm currently working on a class, either revamping the Artificer class as Artisan or making an Alchemist class either way, focusing alchemy-based mechanics and abilities at the moment. What I would say to that is I would lean specifically, like, the Artificer is weird in 5e because it's like, oh, hey, you're either partly an alchemist or you're like a magical smith or you're an Iron Man or, you know, whatever it is, right? I would probably lean in toward the alchemist side of things, specifically just revamping like a whole new class that's alchemist, where you are brewing up unique potions, and like in the way you interact with potions makes it more intriguing. I think that's probably the way to go. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna force this this AI to pimp out another 20 side quests here. Can I get another 20 quests, please? These are fantastic, and you are doing a great job. Gosh darn it. I can't, the message will exceed the length limit for this chat. Ugh! So sad. I'll, Alrighty. Can I number these? Is there... Yeah, I'll have to number these. I'm gonna have to open up a new chat to go around that then. Gosh darn it. Need the shifter class from Pathfinder to 5e? I don't know the shifter class per se. I mean, I'm willing to bet that I'm willing to bet it's more intriguing than the Druid's wild shape, though. I agree it's weird. My setting is also not as much tech heavy, so a lot of the Artificer doesn't go well, but I've always enjoyed the concept, and Failed Alchemist was done quite poorly. I'm personally also against Artificers. I think Artificers bump the world into too much of a high fantasy of what I want in my worlds. I want magical items to be found, not created. Propone, one would say you shouldn't be able to turn into a dragon in any campaign, bastard. That's the problem with 5e, or, you know, all tabletop or Pathfinder and in 5e is at the end of the, like, once you reach level 17, then it's, the whole combat just is turned into a dragon. Like, that's all it comes down to. I love the idea of a crafty battle medic that doesn't use traditional spellcasting. That's where I would lean. I'd make the Artificer not a spellcaster. Ultimately, what it is, because once again, I think spellcasting should be unique and fun. Alrighty. Start a new chat. Let me go ahead and copy the beginning prompt I used for this. Making new side quest for the campaign. Here is the current list. Could you please add 20 more? And let me go ahead and copy all this. pasted there. And then bada bing, bada boom. It's basically a combat class that focuses on wild shape. It has subclass stuff for dragon, transform, or rare creatures. So Propone, in the TTRPG I'm making, currently, right now it's titled Make Believe, one of the classes is called the Beast. Because, you know, it's fairy tale themed. You know, there's classes like the Red Hood and Witch and so on and so forth. The Beast is the partial transformation combat class. So, so that one in particular is going to be more along the lines of what you're looking for. I'm going to be unveiling that relatively soon. I've got a lot of things written up for that, so you can look forward to that. I like high fantasy, but also don't like the idea of being too semi-regularly magic. Man, I'm having a stroke. But also don't like the idea of being able to semi-regularly make magical items. Yeah, that's ultimately I don't. I want all magical items to be found so that they can be earned. I don't want them to be, oh hey, I killed some goblins, now I can make a bag of holding. As opposed to spells, I'm going to have X formulas known at X level that increases of course, but you can only prepare X per day. Yeah, I like that idea. That's what I'm doing for my bard. For the bard, it is I'm removing their spellcasting, and they know X number of bardic talents, and those bardic talents are like, you know, things like, oh hey, you can do all these other fun functions and things like that. Alrighty, here is the final 20, because I think 50 is going to be more than enough for this campaign here. There's no way I'm actually going to be using all of them anyway, so let's be real. Boom. And also, it's funnily cutting off here. I should actually remove that and make them all line up properly. Also, 42. Did I mess up somewhere? What's going on? Boom. I feel like I messed up somehow. Let's take a look. I have 52 somehow. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to live with it. Here we are. I got 50. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's where I went wrong. There's a type and there's a space in there that's already been used. Okay, let me find that. Boom. And that should be up to 50. Perfect. Alrighty, these 50 side quests. Let's take a look at some of the new additions, shall we? Because there are some really dope ones. Alrighty. The Wandering Ward. A wizard's protective ward has somehow detached from its intended building and is floating through the city, causing magical anomalies. The wizard offers a wand of magic detection and 700 gold to help catch and dispel it. The ward attracts various magical creatures and causes unpredictable effects wherever it goes. Cool. Warehouse Wars. 2 merchant families are feuding over warehouse ownership, disrupting trade. The Harbor Guild offers 900 gold and a ring of free action to resolve the dispute. Investigation reveals both families are being manipulated by a third party hoping to take control of the Harbor District. Golly, that's so good. So good. Rel Ruins. A noble from the merchant prince's court discovers documents suggesting their ancestors' mansion lies beneath modern Port Anzaru. They offer a belt of dwarven kind to excavate it discreetly. The ruins contain both magical treasures and evidence of noble families' dark past, leading to moral choices about what to reveal. Cool. So good. Alrighty, I've got all the side quests I'm going to need for this solo play. That's very good to know. Hey, my character was chaotic good. I also considered taking a spin on the superiority die, and as long as I can come up with enough buffs, banes, and effects to modify the base elixirs, then I'll put them together the potency die. Although this is early in the design process. The important thing with the design process is to go with your gut feeling, run it, and then when you finally sit down and see the finished product, that's when you start killing your darlings. Just get through the process of making it, and then run it, and if it's bad, then rework it. That's the best way to go. Alrighty. I've got a lot of side quests here. Helping me out. Showing off all sorts of various things. Rewarding my characters with gold and XP and items that they'll desperately need. Because my characters are going to need all the gold that they can get. This is going to be a gold for XP campaign. We are adventuring for gold. Hey, speaking of, the alchemist need. Master Zolkir, a human alchemist, requires rare ingredients found throughout Port Nanzaire's shadier districts. He offers 3 potions of the party's choice and future brewing services to gather them all. Each ingredient is held by a different criminal element or dangerous creature within the city. Rival alchemist attempts to either outbid the party for the ingredients or steal them once collected. The quest reveals an underground network of magical material suppliers. Cool. Alrighty. Great stuff. Alrighty, so that's pretty good. Very good advice. Reps over perfection. Absolutely. Off to trivia night piece. See ya, Prof Pone. See ya. Can pretty much apply that to all DM aspects. Yeah, that's ultimately my tactic was. I've ran thousands of sessions of TTRPGs at this point. I have ran so many sessions and for so many players. I've ran for hundreds of players, thousands of sessions, and I can tell you that there's a lot of things I like and a lot of things I don't like, and the more I run, the more I see what works, the more I see what doesn't work, and the only way to do that is really just by playing it. There's a lot of theory crafting involved in the hobby, a lot of theory crafting, but I think theory crafting can really only get you so far. Alrighty, so with that, I've got the side quest, which I can go ahead and I'll just keep that there for now. So essentially, my campaign is gonna come to the following. My characters are gonna show up to this town or the city, and I'm gonna be rolling up the rumors. I'm gonna be rolling up the side quests. I'm gonna be rolling up the random encounters that they're getting up to. And that's going to be indicative of where they go once they go into the jungle. I'll fix it later. And once we start going out into the jungle exploring, that'll be entirely determined by the rumors that we're following. So like, you know, me as a human being, I have my ideas on how I would tackle TOA if I had full forthright know-how, but I'm not going to do that because I want to leave it up to the dice and see how my characters progress, not how me as the solo player will progress. So that'll be very intriguing. So that's chapter number 1 is pretty much concluded. I think that chapter 1 is just so self-contained and perfect as is. The only thing I really just added was just more there. Because in this campaign, I will be regularly going back to the city. My characters are going to go out into the jungle. They're going to get some swag, and then they're going to go back to town and repeat process. Speaking of that, there is a very, very important factor to this campaign. Something that's completely overlooked in Tomb of Annihilation is the political play. The political play is massive. And specifically, in regard to the political play, is the Flaming Fist. The Flaming Fist do something incredibly gaudy. Incredibly terrible. If you do not if you do not get a charter of exploration, then they'll kill you. If you do get a charter of exploration, and they will take half of your earned swag. And for this campaign, my characters will only be earning XP per the gold that they retrieve back to the city. So if they got 1,000 gold and then go back to town, but just outside of town, the Flaming Fist be like, hey, pay up, bucko, and I give over 500, then I'm only going to get the XP for that 500 gold. Let me see, where is it listed? Because I know this to be true. I know this is a sure thing. But where is it? Let me see. Where is the text on all of that? Flaming Fist. Flame Fist plundered. Where is that information? Mission. Oh, that's laws and punishment. Is it in chapter 2, Land of Chult? Flaming. Quest quarters. Is it all in the Fort Balarian? I know it's here somewhere. Boss puzzled. Trying to think of like the control F I would find for the I guess I gotta do charter. That's what I should be looking for, charter. The main reason adventurers have for visiting Fort Balarian is to buy a charter of exploration. Baldur's Gate lays claim to everything east of Mistcliff and north of the Kitcher's Inlet. And now that Mezra is picked clean, it tries to extend its reach. So within this territory, the Flaming Fist does as it pleases, including demanding that explorers buy charters. A charter grants permission to the holder to explore Chult and plunder its riches, but half of an expedition's proceeds and discoveries must be turned over to the Flaming Fist. The charter costs 50 gold, which is treated as a down payment on the split of the profits. In addition, for those who buy a charter, can hire up to 6 Flaming Fist mercenaries to accompany them for the very reasonable rate of 1 gold per 10 day each. That's actually incredibly cheap. It's easy enough to launch an expedition from Port Nizar without a charter. The only risk is that if a Flaming Fist patrol runs into an expedition without a charter, it will attack the expedition and confiscate its gear. I'm probably going to expand that. Like, it seems very odd to me that the Flaming Fist would have this operation and not patrol the city, just outside of the city, to make sure like no one comes into town, because the chances of actually getting into an encounter with the Flaming Fist is actually relatively low. Let's take a look here. Random encounters. Flaming Fist. Yeah, the chance of getting into an encounter with the Flaming Fist is relatively low. You've only got a 3%, 4%, 3%, 2%, 2%, and a 3% chance, depending on where you are. It seems weird to me that that they just wouldn't. So what I'm going to do to expand the political play for my solo play here, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to throw all the information into a AI and like ask it to clarify a bunch of things, like, oh hey, you know, what to tell me what the factions would be doing and tell me the timetable of when they would be doing them, and then I'll be moving the game as so. And that'll be very fun for me because even though this is a solo play, I'm essentially having a pseudo DM for me in the form of this AI, changing up the world. That'll be very fun. So I'll be doing that for sure. Alrighty. Yeah, so there's a those are pretty much the two big things I really need to. So the real big thing is I'll make a to-do list here. Is, you know, I'll actually make it right here. To-do list. Let's go. Number 1 is extra rumors. Number 2 is let's go, what should I write here? Political actions and motivations. Number 3 would be more dungeons / places of interest. And that's specifically for, can't do that here. For extra GP that will sorely be needed. Number 4, let's go with extra guides, because I always add more guides to these campaigns because I think more guides are fun. New monsters. That way it'll spice up my campaign if I've got new monsters I'm going to be bumping into. Let's go with just the classic convert everything to OSE. Other than that, I mean, like, all the locations are like just really solid, just old school adventures. I don't really need to do too much there. I just need more of them because there is a lot, but there's still not enough. I've already got all those side quests. Those side quests add a bunch of fun things therein. I don't think there's really much else I need to consider adding besides this list here. Let's go with yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really that much else I need to really think about. Why is Obelisk just all of a sudden randomly right here? What the heck? Creatures. Did I accidentally drag Obelisk out? Is that what happened? Just a random Obelisk right there. E, F, G, E, E. E, F. There we go. Oh, that's what I want to do. I wanted to add, new PC bonuses. One thing I'm gonna be doing for all my campaigns forever and all the time from here on out is I'm going to have every player roll, or every character I should say, roll for their birthday and your astrological sign, depending on when you were born, you know, what campaign it is, all these various aspects. That'll give you a unique feature to you. You know, that could just be like, oh, it'd be a very niche thing. So it'll be something along the lines of like, oh, you gain a +1 to attack rolls against undead. Oh, you have a +1 to saving throws against charms. Like things like that. And I think that very much so adds a little, you know, the very much so needed touch of personalization to characters. And I'm going to be doing that for every campaign I ever run from here on out. I think it's just, once again, just another. Once you add a whole bunch of little tiny touches to your campaigns, that goes a long way, and it makes your players more appreciative of the things going on therein. Alrighty, extra rumors, political actions and motivations, more dungeons, extra guides, new monsters, convert everything OSE, new PC bonuses. New treasure, new magic items, I guess. Anything else? Anything else? I think that's pretty much all I really need. I think I can't really think of anything else I need to add more to. You got me through DMing the entire Rime of the Frostbane game for about 3 years ago. Thanks a lot. No problem, Damien. No problem at all. It's funny. Damien, I'm going to be upfront with you. I am terrible with names. This goes through regular life. This goes through the interwebs. I'm terrible with names, but I am really great with faces. And that being really great with faces actually applies to, on YouTube, that applies to the user picks. And I distinctly remember that user pick. I distinctly remember that one. So, it's definitely like once again, terrible names, but like I see your profile pic and I'm remembering talking to you in the comment section on my Rime of the Frostbane videos ages ago. That's so funny. Oh man. It's funny. I actually so like looking at this little list here that I had. Let me go ahead and change this. Boop. Actually, I'm planning on running some solo games here, and the top 3 that came in my head was running a solo of Tomb of Annihilation, a solo Icewind Dale, and a solo Curse of Strahd. And I actually had some things written up here for a D100 table for Icewind Dale that I was working on ages ago. Because I think Icewind Dale is a fantastic campaign. However, it needs some tweaking in order to be fantastic, unfortunately. I think Icewind Dale is great setting, great location, great themes, but unfortunately it needs a little bit of work to come to life, to experience that dread. Alrighty. So, anything else? New magic items? Anything else? I'll consult the chat, the chat bot thing, the AI. Can you give me a list of considerations I need to make for running Tomb of Annihilation as a solo game. I'll do a new chatbot for this to give it completely unmodified attention here. I am planning on running Tomb of Annihilation as a solo play. I will be using School Essentials, TTRPG for it, as I feel it fits the old school vibe and feel that I want from this adventure, as well as the system itself being better for solo play due to its simplicity compared to 5e. Can you give me I need to give it some more information as well. The more information you give to our robot overlords, the better it is. That's how that works. Yeah, where's my list here? I will be running with 6 PCs. Did my music stop? What's going on? Alrighty, what do I need to tell it? I don't really need to tell it much, I don't think. Please. Actually, let me go ahead and, like the other one, what the heck did I just write? Exploration modifications, resource management, social interaction. Alrighty. Considerations I need to make before I start What does the AI overlord tell me? One of the considerations is consider having backup characters ready due to OSC's higher mortality rate. You'll need to convert 5e to OSE. Yep. Just monsters. Consider using an oracle. Hex exploration outcomes, weather conditions, etc. Alrighty. I think I've pretty much got what I need right now. I mean, I'm gonna be asking it for more rumors. I'm gonna be asking it for political action motivations, more dungeons, extra guides, new monsters, convert everything to OSC, new PC bonuses, and new magic items. I can't really think of anything else I need to add before I start on this perilous journey. I think that'll be fun. Alrighty. So with that, I've been streaming for 2 hours. I put in my time. If anybody's got any questions, concerns, gripes, moans, or complaints, feel free to voice them. I'm always down to clown. But otherwise, speak now or forever hold your peace. Until next time, anyway. As a friendly reminder, I will be running my games through my Discord. I've got some West Marches games coming up this week. I've got 4 of them, in fact. So join my Discord. Link down below if you want to join some games hosted by yours truly. Alrighty. So with that, thank you so very much for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, for doing all that jazz. I'm looking forward to this. Also, is this thing busted? Why is there no preview for this? I'm scared. Okay, that map is working. But I'm looking forward to doing a solo play of this campaign because I've never I've ran this campaign so much. I want to see more of it. I love it. I love TOA. I'm also probably going to do solo play of Curse of Strahd too. That'll be interesting. But that is going to do it for me. Thank you so much, and I cannot wait to see y'all next time. See ya!